Are we live? I think we are live. I will act up like we are live. So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Life of a Board Gamer. My name is Daniel. I am sorry about the delay. The kid is still not sleeping, even though he was supposed to be out long ago, but he's a little bit sick, so he's acting up and everything. So, we had to use a vacuum cleaner to take the boogers out of his nose because he can't breathe. It's fun times. So, yeah. Welcome everybody. Tonight we are doing again some live painting. This time is for a Kickstarter that is currently running. It is a game called The Scare Factory. There is a link in the description down below, so you can click on that link and check it out, what the game is all about. Now these are prototype miniatures, so the miniatures in the game will be, I presume, way better with more details without unnecessary stuff on them, because I didn't clean them much because I was a little bit lazy. So yeah, let's just switch the scenes. Okay, so you see what miniatures I'm talking about. So yeah, so we are painting these two fellows, and we are going to try and paint these miniatures as quickest as possible as we can. And then if we have some time, we are going to add some details, maybe some highlights on a few things, and see how the things work. So yeah, let's start, shall we? Okay, so first things first, we are going to start with the witch, and the camera is acting up a little bit. Now I wanted to stream from my studio, but unfortunately I ran into some problems. It is kind of lagging a little bit over there, so I didn't want to risk anything. I wanted this to be like a good stream with a good without lagginess and stuff like that. So I hope you are hearing me. The sound looks like it's working. Everything is working. I hope I am okay, because I think I never started the stream without any troubles or problems, so we'll have to figure it out as we go. Okay, so I didn't prepare any colors, anything, because I messed up a little bit, as I already mentioned. So I'm going to pick a few colors now that I know I'm going to be needing. Some greens. No, I don't need greens. At least I don't think I need. Do I need them? Who knows? So yeah, let's see what else we have. Okay, I need my black color. Oh, Cliff Charger Gray. I need that one. Okay, so I don't need this one, but this one I really need. I hope you can hear me correctly. I see the spikes are doing okay, like up and down, so I hope there is no any sound issue or anything. Okay, this is the one I was searching for, the Black Templar. See, now when I'm even moving it here, it looks like a little bit of lag, but very little bit. I don't know what happened. Yes, me and my friend were filming some Kickstarter previews, some gameplay, and I was really lagging a lot, so I'm really not sure what happened there, but I hope it does not happen here. I probably know what's wrong, and that is the laptop that I was using is just not that good to power up everything, to run both cameras and everything, so I'll have to figure the things out, if it's that or if it's something else. Okay, so first thing, we are going to use a Black Templar, and we are going to do her hat and her like skirt, but the skirt will probably end up being like a little bit purplish with the purple highlights or something along those lines. And her boots, we are going to do her boots black also. Now she has some sort of I hate this camera. Why it's zooming on the background is beyond me. I really don't like how it's zooming. See, now it's good, but as soon as I move it a little bit, it's going to lose focus. I wish I had more time to figure things out. I guess we are going to have to make it work. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be a pretty simple job, just to show you, just to make you aware of the Kickstarter first of all, but just to show you that miniatures can look good if you just do like a basic paint job on them. If you don't need to go like above and beyond to create an amazing miniatures. As always, I'm just doing like a regular job that you can do too, so nothing out of ordinary, some like elaborate techniques or anything like that. It is just something that you can do for yourself if you are thinking about maybe start painting some miniatures. You can easily recreate anything I do here, because I am in no way a pro painter. I can do a solid job, most definitely, but I'm just a regular painting dude. I haven't painted miniatures in some time now. I was painting some terrains lately, and I must say that because the terrains don't have these small details, my hand feels a little bit weird. So I hope you see everything okay. So yeah, what I was saying, yeah, painting now these little details is really messing me up. I'm really used to like painting big wood forests and walls and whatnot, so this is now a completely like, it feels like I never painted miniature in my life. So I just need to get the skirt done up here. Okay, this looks way too black on the camera. I think I need to work some lighting. Grumpy Guy is here. Hey Grumpy. Grumpy Guy also has an amazing painting skills, so if you want to see some nice paint jobs, go check out Grumpy Guy Gaming. He is really a good painter. But yeah, let me just quickly try and mess up with the, I'm sorry for this, but I have to try and configure video, because it is looking really weird. I can't see anything I can do about it. I guess my light is just, since it's on auto, I should probably switch to manual and correct the now it's all choppy and I don't know what's going on. This was not happening when I was setting things up, so let me see if I switch it on a manual and I set it on miniature. Is this any way better if I put it on? Oh, way too bright. Okay, but I can dial it down a little bit maybe with this. I'm very bad at understanding how this camera works, I guess. Yeah, now everything is burnt, like you don't see. Oh man, too much. Let's set it to 125. I think we can work with this. I think we can. Okay, now when this little mishap is over, we can continue painting. our miniature. So what I was saying is, yeah, I didn't paint for some time now, so right now I have a feel like I never painted before. It's really like a whole new territory for me. It's super weird because, you know, I painted I don't know how many miniatures in my life, and it's not like riding a bike. Like they say, once you know how to ride a bike, you will always know how to ride a bike. That's true, but painting miniatures, I don't know, I noticed that if I don't paint for some time, that I kind of lose my grip a little bit. I'm not like painting at my best. Not sure why is that, to be honest, but yeah, it is like it is. Okay, so Griffhound Orange. Grumpy guy, you're at work at this time. You are not in Croatia, I presume. Then you are somewhere on a terrain or something like that, right? On the field. Okay, so now we have a Griffhound Orange, and we are going to paint, because that's how it looks on the artwork itself. So I'm going basically by the artwork. So she has a bag that is orange, so we're going to try and stay true to the artwork that I saw for this one. For the second one, I think we are going to go a little bit off, just because it looks too simple, to be honest, if I paint it like that. So I want to, like, yeah, this turned out really awful, so we'll have to correct some of that. Definitely a mistake was made. Second shift, oh okay. I'm glad I don't have to work second shifts anymore. That was just something that I really didn't like. Okay, so we are done with this, and I need the Basilicanum Gray. This one we are going to use for her leggings, stockings, however you want to call it. But before that, I'm going to go with the white and just repair some of the mistakes that I did. Just because when painting with contrast colors, you really want to have like a white background, because you can't paint over those black parts and cover them up. So we're just going to paint this thing up, and this thing, because we messed it up really good. Yeah, I was a little bit rushed on this part, but I should let it dry more. Stop zooming in and zooming out, my god. But it has a manual zoom, so I don't know what's going on. Okay, so she's got some potions, some stuff. Let me just check out a picture, a reference picture a little bit. Yeah, it's like a gray, and this one, and okay, that's a tablet acting up. Some emails are incoming, stuff like that. So I'm looking for my flesh color. Okay, let's go with the Fire Slayer flesh. It is basically a very pale flesh. Even no, it's not. It's the dark one. Oh, wait, it's a mistake if I use it. dark oat flesh. Dark oat flesh is basically just like a light flesh color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna paint her face with this flesh color, and her hand, of course, all the parts that are showing. Yeah, I really forgot how to paint. I'm really feeling like I don't know what I'm doing, man. It's really weird. Oh, wait. I'm painting some stuff and I'm like thinking, what type of hand is this? And I now just noticed that it is sort of like some flesh from 3D printing, so I'm going to try and remove it if I can. Nope, it's pretty stuck in here. Okay, so we're just going to ignore it like you didn't saw it. As already mentioned, these are just like a prototype minis. They had some lying around that they used for presentations and whatnot, so I asked them to send me some so I can paint on the video for the Kickstarter, and they did. Okay, that is all done. I forgot to paint her, forgot completely to paint her hat in a black color, and I just want to go one more time over this part over here with the white, just so I can define a little bit more. Okay, that's okay. So yeah, I haven't streamed in a while, painting videos at least. I was a little bit lazy and I have lots of other things on my mind and what I want to do and how I want to do stuff, so I will try to get more on track with these painting videos. I really wish to do more painting videos, but time is really like hard to come by. Okay, let me just do another quick reference look. Okay, so her hat, I don't see everything, what is orange, what is black, so I'm gonna presume some things and go by the feel, how I think it will look. Okay, I must say that these, even though are 3D printed, they have some little mistakes, but the 3D printing has come up pretty far. If you know what you're doing, you can have a pretty nice miniatures for a little money, and I think there's some future there in printing miniatures. I have been preparing a video for a long time. It's still in works, for some page that does print, like you can create your own miniature and then give it to them and they will 3D print it for you, stuff like that. So that's coming up soon, and in the meantime you can check the Scare Factory. They are currently on a Kickstarter, depending when you're watching this, but there is a link in the description, so go check it out, see If you like it, maybe show them support and pledge for the game if you like it. I went a little bit overboard with the black, so I'm gonna try to scoop it up with a dry brush a little bit. I think it's okay. Oh man. So idea is to finish all these miniatures in about 2 hours approximately looking at 2 hours to finish these, but if we need a little bit more time, we're going to do it a little bit more time, or in a little bit of less time, who knows. Okay, next thing is skeleton horde, and I want to use that one for, there is some skeleton heads down here, and I want to use it for a part of her upper shirt or whatever she's wearing. I don't really see what she's wearing. I don't get it, what it is. Now, as you can see, I'm mostly using a contrast colors to paint the miniatures. It's just because they can do a job pretty fast, and you can have like a nice painted miniatures in no time. And then if you want to, you can improve on those miniatures with the regular paints, give them some highlights and whatnot. So it's really up to you what you want to do, but I just want to show you that you can be very quick and do like a bunch of miniatures in a very little time. So I really like contrast paints. I know they're not like, they have their minuses and pluses, but I really like what they do and how they do, and I think they do the job well. Kotska is here. Hello Kotska, my friend, how are you today, or tonight, because it's night, at least here in Croatia. Okay, let's do some orange on her head to finish with that thing, even though this color, this black, is not all dried up yet, but I hope I will not mess up very much. So the good thing is that orange is lighter color than black, so if you even go over one another, you don't see the thing you messed up. So that's a good thing. Hey, Super Games is here. That's the guys and girls, I presume, that are running this game on a Kickstarter. Nice of you to drop by. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to use Basilicanum Gray, and we are going to do, no, oh man, I forgot one thing. I wanted to use the skeleton horde. The thing is, when I'm painting miniatures, I try to use as less colors as I possibly can, since if you use too much color, you'll most definitely have like a really circus of a miniature. I mean, if that's what you are aiming for, then it's fine, but if you want to have the less is more, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. The less is more. The less you use colors, different colors, that's better for the miniature. It will look way better, because you know, I could go with a different color for this her upper shirt or something, whatever that is, I'm really not sure, but then it would just it would just be a circus of a miniature, and I don't want to do that. I want to do a good job. Next thing, as I said, Basilicanum Gray. Why it's not zooming up? Basilicanum Gray. I need to shake it really hard. So with this one, we are going to paint her legs, and also we are going to paint her shirt. And I went like she has one sleeve longer than other. I think that was a mistake on my part, most definitely. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna repaint her hand, but not entirely, like so, with the white, and let it dry out. And while we are waiting for it to dry out, I'm going to paint some different things first. So what are you doing, Kotska? You are researching the new Essen releases, trying to decide what to buy. Yeah, I got you. I know what you're talking about. I was looking at some stuff too, but currently I have a lot on my plate. So, and this year, I mean, I would probably get some of those games if I were at Essen, but as it turns out, there is not going to be an Essen this year, and this online thingy is something that I'm just not interested in that much, because, you know, for me Essen is like meeting people in real life and talking to them in real life. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just paint this flame that she has in her hand, like a green thingy going on. Let's pretend it's like some sort of poisonous fireball something. And she also has a vial on the back, so I'm going to paint that green too. And some of these down here I'm going to paint in different colors. Let's say, for example, this one, I'm going to do it in a green style, and maybe one other. This one is also round like her, but like that one on her belt, so we're going to do this one green too. You know, just to make the base more interesting. We're going to use a few different colors for these on the bases. Okay, we are still waiting on this to dry out. What else we can paint? Okay, so I'm gonna do that thing. I'm gonna paint the base entirely, all these little thingies before I switch to. So next thing is Thalasar blue. I didn't show you the color, but it's really nice blue color. I'm gonna use it for these two fellows, these two vials, or whatever they are, potions maybe. And I see some flash from 3D printing on this one. I'm gonna try and remove it without cutting myself or the miniature. Oh, I did it. I'm good. I just put the new blade, so it's pretty like really sharp, so I need to be careful. Okay, and this one I'm gonna do blue. Why? Just because I can, and I think it will look cool. I'm really not sure what they are, but yeah, and we have two left. We are going to do them red, of course, just to give a little bit more visual to the base. It's really cool that they decided to put something like this on the base. It looks really nice. You know what? I don't see the red one. Okay, it's here. I thought maybe painting orange, but we already have orange now. This is the only part when it's okay to go with different colors. I know I was just talking like a minute ago, less is more, but in this case it is completely okay because it serves the greater purpose of looking cool. I mean, if you had all these on the miniatures, it would probably not look that good. So we are done with the base, sort of. Looks really cool. I did messed up around the base, but we are going to paint the base black, or I'm gonna do that off the camera. And I mean, that's not like an interesting part. You just take the black paint or whatever paint you want, and you paint over the base, trying to avoid these thingies. So it's really not like a brain thing. I don't know how to explain. Okay, Basilicanum Gray. Zoom on it. Davor is with us. Hey Davor, what's up, my friend? We didn't see each other in some time now due to all these things happening in the world that we can't mention because the video will get a copy strike or stuff like that. It's super weird. So yeah, we are going to do her legs in this grayish color, like she's wearing some leggings or something. Her skirt will not stay black, it will be like a dark purplish color. That's the idea that I have in mind, and we'll see if I manage to do it, because I never experimented with those colors, so I'm not sure how it is going to look. So her shirt, as I said, we are going to go with the sort of grayish, but I'm really having like a little bit of paint on my brush. I'm mostly just like layering because I want to keep it a lighter grayish color. So I'm trying to avoid of getting too much on my brush, and even if I have, I try to move the paint around, because these contrast paints, you can really move them around before they start drying up. Okay, I think it's going pretty nicely. I decided to go like for a little bit of darkish greenish look, because you know, if I use too much of happy colors, this would not look good, most definitely, because it is like a grim dark game, so you know, it deserves to be a little bit of dark in color. Looks way better live than on the camera. I really don't know what I'm doing wrong. I guess the lights are wrong or something. You are good. How am I doing? Is everything okay with you? Yes, my friend, everything is perfect with me. I am healthy. I am staying out as much as I can of getting ill, or you know what I'm talking about. I can't talk live on it because the YouTube and their policy. So yeah, okay, so we have a shish purple. It's a really dark purple, and I know that you will not see anything on the camera, but it will give a nice subtle purplish. You know what? No, I have a better idea. This is too dark. I'm gonna use some shades, some Drucci Violet. So that's a purple shade over the black color. It's gonna give it like a subtle purple hue, and you will probably not see it on the camera, but I will try to take some pictures and put it on Instagram, so be on a lookout on an Instagram to see how it looks at the end if you are interested. Also, I'm currently running some giveaways on Instagram, so go check that out too. It is about something completely different than this. You can win a game from Yellow, but yeah, go check that out. And maybe you win the game, who knows. Plugging my own merch. No, it's not my own merch, I mean my own channel, my own Instagram, so I think that's okay. So we are going to do that on the hat too, since we did it on the skirt. Looks okay, really subtle. I think I might went with too dark color. I think I should have do a wash over her. I don't know. It's kind of too late now to go back because we already painted it. And as you can see, now I managed from the start for this chat to work, because now I know what I need to do. It took me like a solid 6 or 7 live stream videos before I figured this out, so thank God. It was really frustrating. Okay, so I'm mixing just some Griff Charger gray. It is like a bluish grayish color, and I'm going to use it on her hair because I wanted to make a little bit of difference between her hair and, you know, to not be like a solid gray color like this skirt of her is. What if I add some of it? Let me just try something. Oh, this does look cool. Okay, so I'm gonna add some of that gray on her leggings. It looks way better than it was. So I'll definitely need some highlights, most definitely, on this one. Okay, last thing we need to do for this miniature is use some Black Templar, and I on purpose left the bottle caps white because I want to put like a black dot on top of them to make it like it's cork or something. I could put brown, but it would be so little bit, it is so little, so small change that you would probably even notice is it black or is it brown. So we just stick it with the black. Old man streamer. Are you calling me old man? I'm not that old. I'm only 39, man. So yeah, I think we are for now done with this one. And it looks really dark, but she's a witch after all, so she needs to look dark. She's a witch. You feeling me? So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move it aside, and we are going to step and paint this guy. This guy has some vacuum cleaner for ghosts, I presume, or something like that. So I need now a silver color. And I need okay, this is the best silver, this liquid silver from Vallejo. These are absolutely insane how good they are. So since this is mostly metal miniature, we're gonna paint everything with this metal color, and then we are going to, you know what, I'm not going to go with the metal first. First I'm going to try and paint some of his pants and shirts and whatever. Let me just quickly check out how he looks. Yeah, he has like bluish grayish thing going on. So with the brown parts and whatnot. So okay, I have an idea. And I need my brown color for that idea, and I don't know where it is because I am very unprepared for this live stream. Very unprepared. Okay, I'm gonna take this one. Oh man, where is it? I think it might even be here on the table in this mess. Oh, I just hit my leg. Okay, I don't see it anywhere. And I'm losing time. I need to paint, not trying to find the color, you know. Man, oh man. Okay, I'm gonna use this one, and we're going to improvise something because I don't want to lose any more time searching for a color. So Leviathan blue is very dark blue. It's almost black blue, and I'm gonna use it to paint his shirt and his pants, and the rest we are going to do in some leathery light brownish color. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, let's see, how are we going to approach this? I need to be very, very careful to do as little mistake as possible, because this color is pretty dark and we'll most definitely need to repair if we miss some of this, if it goes over the places that it shouldn't go over. And I mean, that's fine, that's okay, but we are really trying to do and make some time here and be done with this in a reasonable amount of time. I mean, I could stream for, I don't know, 6 hours if you want to, but I really need my sleep because I need to work in the morning. I'll find some flesh from 3D printing on this miniature, and I need to get it off. Did I? Yes, I did. I removed it. So yeah, I need to get some sleep before the work. So ooh, I went a little bit too much with the color over here, but luckily I can drag it around. I know this is a weird angle, you probably don't see a thing I'm doing, but I'm just painting his bottoms. Yep, I think I got it. Oh, I find some more flesh from 3D printing on his chin. Let's try and remove it. Oh man, I think it just snapped on its own. Okay, cool. Oh, so we have some fellows from a place that I almost live in, but the war in Croatia stopped me from living there. Basta is with us, and now I'm not really sure which one it is. Is it the younger brother or the older one? Because it says hi from Tenya, and the older one lives in Osijek, so I'm not sure to which one I'm talking to. But hello to you too, kind sir, because whoever you are both great guys. So was on a work call and missed most of this. Zeblik says, yeah man, I mean, you didn't miss most of it. I am going to stream probably for 2 hours, so I'm only 1 hour in, so you didn't miss anything. I just did finish painting the witch. We are probably going to do some details later when I'm done with this guy, if we have enough time to do such thing. I am really trying to make it so we have some time to do some painting, some more like again oh whoopsie. So I found some flesh on here that I want to remove before I continue painting. These are really hard to spot when you prime the miniature and everything. So only younger one is here to support you. Yeah, I see. The older one is doing who knows what. Thank you for your support. I mean, after all, I did save you from parking that day, so you owe me like for 2 whole lives, right? Now anytime I need anything, I will call you a favor. You are in my inevitable debt forever. Sorry, it is just how it is. You can't escape it. Okay, so I think we are done with his uniform. Now we are going to paint all the other parts with the color called snakebite leather. It is like super dark yellow, like a dirty yellow. Yes, Zeblik, these are 3D printed. Now these are not the final product. These are there is a currently game on a Kickstarter called Scare Factory, and these miniatures are from that. These were just their prototypes, so they sent me some to paint, and they sent me like 5 miniatures. I have 3 more here, but I decided that I will paint these 2 because they look like the most interesting ones with the most details and everything on them. So I mean, I could easily paint this guy for you, but as you can see, he's pretty easy to paint. He has not like as you can see, these are all marks from the 3D printing, but yeah, he's pretty easy to paint, and I wanted to paint something more elaborate like this one. Okay, so now we are painting with the snakebite leather, and we are going to do his boots and his straps and all those shebangs. And I want to do those before I do those silver parts, because those silver parts will easily cover everything that I mess up maybe, but I would not be able to cover with these paints over the silver, so I think it was the good choice. So as you can see, it is pretty nice dark yellow color. I really love it. I really love how it looks. this is like some straps, so I'm gonna paint them now just so I can see them more clearly, but I think I will probably need to redo these after I'm done with the silver and all the washes and everything. I guess this will be lost, but I can see clearly when I'm painting, so I'll try to avoid them as much as possible. And of course his head, we need to paint his head. I'm reading this part about parking tickets. I will not read everything. Yeah, no man, no, it's not that bad, but the thing is that the ladies at the hotel, and there is like a cafe there, and we were sitting, the kid was playing, we were eating some ice cream, and the ladies didn't want to break him some change so he can pay for the parking, so he does not get a parking ticket. And luckily I saw him, actually I heard him, I recognized his voice, and I gave him some money, even though he then gave me back some money, you know. But I had some change, some quarters or kunas, Croatian kunas. Yeah, they're pretty complicated if you don't have a change, because if you put too much money in, he thinks that you want to spend all that money on parking, and he gives you parking for like 7 hours. He does not give change, those parking meters. And you can pay by mobile phone actually, but then it takes like a stupid provision. I mean, it's not much, it's not that like they take you too much, but still it just feels wrong to give them all that money. So yeah, fun stuff. Okay, so we painted all the brown parts on this guy. And now we are going to do some magic with this silver color, this liquid silver from Vallejo. These are like magical paints, I'm telling you right now, magic. But you need to shake them really, really well. Yeah, parking meter doesn't give change, so you need to put exact amount how much time you mean to stay. And the ladies didn't want to change him, like he had some big cash at his disposal, and the ladies didn't want to break it into smaller change so he can pay for the parking. And now what I'm going to do basically is just paint everything else in silver, and then we are going to do some different brown, rusty, or leave a silver colors depending what we want to achieve with different washes and whatnot. So bear with me, this is going to be a little bit of boring process now, because there's a lot of, and these are particularly hard to paint. Oh, and yeah, man, you don't owe me anything. I was just kidding. You saved my ass when I was going to Essen with that power bank, so let's call it even. I messed up a little bit. Some of the paint went on his leg. As you can see, some silver paint is right there on his leg, and I was really trying to avoid that, but guess what? I didn't avoid it. So we'll see if we can repair that with too much fuss, but if not, that's not like a big issue. You don't have to have like everything paint spot on perfectly, because nobody will look like underneath here and see, oh, you got some paint here that does not belong, you know. And if someone does go and look there, just good for them. When I started painting miniatures, I was way more careful about the smallest of the details, you know, like behind the shield, when the miniature is holding shield, and behind that shield I was like really careful that paint everything behind it and highlighting the hand. And then you realize nobody's looking there when they're looking at your miniature, so why spending time? I mean, if you are doing some contest or something, sure, but if you're just painting for yourself, there's really no point in painting those parts. So I just gave up, and now I just skip on those parts, do them like quick and dirty, and be done with them. Okay. Zeblik had to bribe some police in Mexico once a decade ago. Well, I'm glad you are still alive. From all we see, like, Mexico can be really dangerous. Not saying that it is. I never been there, so I don't know, but you know, the movies tell you some things and you kind of believe them, sort of, even though the truth might be completely something different. But that's politics, and we don't do politics on this channel, so I'm not going to talk about it. I'm slouching over the miniature. I should be like more of... I start to feel the pain in my back, and that's not good, because we still are way to go with this miniature. Now I'm looking at his hands and I'm thinking, should I paint them like a skin, or maybe he has gloves, what would be better? But I think I'm gonna paint skin just to give it a little bit more variety, but not too much. We're still keeping to that one, that less is more. So I don't know if you can see, but this silver is absolutely crazy how easy it applies. The coverage is insane. I think these are the best silver colors that I ever used in my life, in my 13 years of painting. We are done with the silver, and now we need to... Oh no, we are not done with the silver, but I'm gonna do something about it. I forgot to paint his goggles on his head, but I'm gonna paint them some different color, just because I don't want to open... Oh, sorry, I don't want to open that silver one again. So they're basically talking about Mexico now. I'm sorry, I was just reading whatever they're writing. You are collecting coins, Zeblik, if I'm understanding correctly. I mean, I can send you Croatian kunas easily. That's like just few little things, so I think it can be done. We can do it. Okay, so what I want to do next with this miniature is I want to paint the flesh tones, dark coat flesh. Let's paint his hands and everything before. What type of silver it is? It is called Vallejo liquid silver. This one is called white gold, but there are more than few different colors. But this Vallejo liquid silver it's a gold of a color. These are just insanely good. Now they're not the regular, even though they say they are acrylic paints. They have like a little smell to them, so I don't think they're like 100% acrylic. I think there is some nitro in there or something. They really smell like those model colors that I used to have that were only available when I was starting painting. So they have like a really bad smell, and these ones also have a little bit of that smell, so not that intensive, but most definitely the smell is there. So yeah, be aware of that if you are going to buy these, that you really need to clean your brush, because you see, even though I just quickly rinsed the brush, I don't know, it's not able to see here, but after every use I really need to clean the brush, otherwise the little particles will stay in the brush. The water is not just enough. Zeblik, please do send me a message on Instagram or somewhere on the mail, and we can discuss this thingies about me sending you coins. I think it's really doable. Okay, what I want to do now is I want to use a wash that I have, a shade called Cryptek Armor Shade Gloss. Basically, this will make the parts of the miniature look like really rusty and overused, you know. And maybe we can paint goggles also with these. I think it would be a good idea. I think it would look cool. So I'm just gonna go and paint few of the things with this Cryptek thingy and see how it looks. It will give it like a bronze finish. I need a bigger brush. This brush is not good enough. Okay, so we got what we wanted. It's kind of look like a bronzy, rusty thingy. And also I want this big tank to be like a rusty bronze thing, so I'm just gonna go all over it, just gonna go crazy with this shade and try to move it around as much as possible to pull as little as I can, control it really that much, but it went well. I'm happy how it looks. It does not look like it pulled too much, maybe over here, but we are going to quickly move it all around. And I'm really don't know what's with this camera. It constantly zooms in and zooms out, and I really need to figure this out, how to work with this camera. Okay, so now I have like these old rusty looking, it looks like a boiler thingy going on. So, and I said I want to do the goggles with this wash because it is pretty heavy, pretty dark, so they will look like they are made out of like those, you know, steampunk thingies, like they are made out of some leather and metal parts and whatnot. Okay, so we are done with that wash, and rest of it we're going to do with a Nuln Oil. Not the rest of it, just the part of it, because I have Agrax Earthshade too, the gloss version. Oh, I have a Nuln Oil gloss. Wait a second, I have a gloss Nuln Oil, and as you can see there's like a lot of dust on it. That's how much I use it. Not really. And I want to see if I have... Ooh, I have Agrax Earthshade gloss, so we're going to use some gloss shades now. So basically the last thing you are talking about is some crazy stories from your trips, Basta. Yeah, he works on a cruiser, so he sees lots of different things. Okay, so we have a shade gloss over here. It is a little bit, I think I maybe shake him too much, so it kind of pooled, it made itself. Okay, but we're just going to go heavily with it over these metal parts. And try to darken them down a little bit. I'm not really satisfied. I think it looks too bright still, even with this gloss. I think I should have went with the regular one, not with the gloss one, but I'm gonna stick to my decision now. It is done and nothing can be done about it. I mean, I could do it again or something, but we're going to leave it at that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use this wash to shade his hair. It will look a little bit shiny, but we'll have some time to maybe put some details on it, so it will be fine. And we're going to use a Agrax Earthshade gloss to paint this like a tube going on here. What happens on a ship stays on a ship. Yeah, okay, whatever you say, my friend. But Zeblik wants to hear stories, I guess, from the ship, or I have currently no like super interesting stories, like nothing out of ordinary happened that I would entertain you with. So basically now I'm just putting this gloss shade over the miniature, and it bubbled up pretty hard because I was shaking it pretty hard, but it's okay. The bubbles are gone, so I'm just heavily applying it all over this. I want it to be as dirty as possible. We might even do some later dry brushes or something over it, just to, I'm gonna put some just around these parts, and in here maybe like give it, you know, if I put a few dots here and there on this, give it a little bit of patchy look, like it's all rusty, and you know, just put it down here like so. And we are done. I mean, we are done. We can do some fine details now if we want to, but basically we can say that miniatures are done, and we have this witch and this guy painted, and we're going to do some details. We are only streaming for an hour and 12 minutes, so we're going to do some highlights with the regular paints and stuff like that. So as always, I'm completely unprepared. Oh man, where are they? Okay. So you may think that your stories are boring. They may not be to us. Try anything. How has the world conditions changed your daily life? Our daily life? Well, we can't go into details, you know, mentioning some stuff, because YouTube doesn't like stuff like that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use this violet color. These are just regular Vallejo paints, and I'm going to do some highlights on her skirt, because I want it to pop out, and her oh man, my eye is and her hat, that's what I was trying to say, her hat and her skirt, because we want to do some highlights, give it a little bit more definition. So yeah, how things were changed were, well, things changed greatly. We don't have any more of these gaming nights, you know, and we were every Friday at a club gaming, and now we can only meet from time to time. And we do, but we really try to stay safe, you know, because all of that going on in the world. Because otherwise I would probably become a painting channel, because gaming now, it's pretty hard, and if I didn't have friends that are like me and don't go out that much, so we are kind of safe from viruses and all kinds of different things. So I just put some highlights on it. I mean, it is terrible, this camera and these lights and everything. It's pretty terrible. I wish it was I really have to work on it and find a solution, because right now, I don't know, it does not look good. You really can't see a thing I'm doing here. I mean, these are not like super bright highlights, so they're not supposed to be like super visible, but still, I think I'm only using one light. I think I need 2 light sources to make this thing work, so I'll have to figure it out before the next paint job. Okay, so we did some purple highlights on her. I think you can see them. And I'm gonna try something here. I have some white on the palette, and I'm just going to try and add a teeny little bit of it, just to make a subtle difference in the color and do a super fine highlight over this one. What I'm doing now is basically just putting a tiny little bit different highlight and trying to be a little bit thinner than the previous one, so I make them look like it's shadows or something to that effect. And I can maybe add just a little bit more white and just put it on the very raised parts. Now it's a little bit better. Oh man, this looks so bad on the camera, but so much better in real life. So I'm just putting a edge highlight on her hat. Second, I need to change the pose a little bit. My leg is getting cramped up, so yeah, I wanted to put some highlights on her. On her boots on her boots. Okay, so I'm gonna call this done, and just a second. Friend is just sending me some funny messages probably. so we're going to use a bright orange just to highlight some of her hat and the bag that she has, you know, stuff like that. So we're gonna highlight those. Oh man, I really took too much paint on the brush. Again, we are going to do some like a little bit heavier highlights, and then we are going to mix in a little bit of white and just try and create some finer highlights that are, oh, too much water, that are a little bit more subtle. Here it is. As you can see, her bag is a little bit highlighted right now. It looks really choppy, but if you like move back from a regular distance, it looks actually pretty cool. I'm really satisfied how it turned out. So I just want to do one more thing. Where is it? Come on. So I have this yellow green. It is pretty bright mix between yellow and green. Of course, it's called yellow green after all. And I'm just gonna highlight some of these flames on her hand, and I think those are visually very interesting, so I want to give them a little bit more importance. So basically I'm just gonna put a few dots here and there, and as we go toward the top of it, I'm gonna go with more and more paints, and then we're just going to put like a pure white on top to make it like glowy. And while we are doing that, we're also going to do that same thing to all the green potions. Just the green potions will make those like super relevant for some reason. You can tell yourself whichever reason you want why you do that. It's really up to you when you're painting miniatures, how you want to explain why something is like it is. My stomach is growling, even though I ate before starting this live stream, but yeah, I'm still hungry, I guess. Okay, I think I messed up with the potions. I should not have done that, but it is how it is. There's really no going back. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that color and mix it in with the white and get like really off-white color, because pure white would look a little bit unnatural. So just gonna put it like on the very tips of this flame, and gonna gave these potions some glowy effects going on. Yeah, I messed up those potions. I should definitely left them green. Maybe just this one on her backpack. I should maybe just done that one, but I put some wrong highlights. I really don't know how to highlight correctly, so I still have to learn how to do that. But in the meantime, I think this miniature is done with all the highlights and everything. It looks a little bit better. It still needs some work. There is definitely autofocus on my camera, and I try to mess with it and try to turn it off, even though it says manual. It's still doing troubles. Movie servo focus paused. Wait, let's see if it's going to do now. Oh man, it was just, I just now found one button that completely removes the autofocus. So yeah, 1 hour 27 minutes in, I finally know how to turn off autofocus. But yeah, now I have to keep miniature in a perfect place, or otherwise it will be like, you see, if I just move it a little bit, it gets out of the focus. You have to go a little bit too closer, it goes out of the focus. So I really need to be like at this distance at all times. So this is going to be a tricky one, but we are going to try and do it. So yeah. Yeah, fun times. Oh man. And now let's do some highlights on this guy, just to make some things more visually interesting. So I'm gonna go with the Talasar, not the Talasar blue. I'm going to go with the Warp Lightning green. That looked great, thank you. I don't think it looks that great. I went a little bit on my script and I really shouldn't, but yeah, it's okay. After all, we are painting this to make people aware of the Scare Factory, so they can check it out on a Kickstarter, and not to like, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, I start talking and then I start thinking about what I'm talking. Okay, so I put some like green on here because I want it to look like those are like a little LED screens or something, something along those lines. And I guess we need to open that silver one because I want to do some highlights, some quick highlights on the silver parts. This is going to be a pretty easy job, since I really want to do just a few highlights. I don't want to overdo it. So yeah, we're just gonna go over the like these parts here. And these paints do dry really quickly. These liquid paints do dry really quickly, so if you want to dry brush with them or do edge highlight, you like need to be really quick about it, otherwise they will dry on you pretty quickly. So I'm just roughly highlighting, so I just really, I don't want to do like super heavy highlight. I just want to be subtle with it, very subtle. Somewhere like make these chips of paint, like, you know, like this. Put some scratches. Okay, I need something to highlight this yellow and to look good when highlighted, and I'm not really sure what paint should I use. Okay, buff. No, it's too light. It's gonna look awful. I need something. Okay, that's the one I'm looking for. Iraqi sand. I want to highlight some of these yellow parts, but I don't want to overdo it, so I'm gonna go with the Iraqi sand, but I'm gonna really dilute it, like really a lot. And I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try and do these like little scratches. So we make it look like it's really worn out. And you basically just need like a fine brush and go all around the miniature. With these type of motions, not like the edge highlighting thing, but I mean you can do like this edge highlight and then go like this. And you get this really, like you see, like it's really scratched and used leather look. But for that you really need to dilute paint a lot and have it just on the tip of your brush. You don't dip it like too much in the paint, otherwise it will not act up like you want it to act up. It will go all over the place, and that's what you want to avoid if you're trying to get these effects going on. So I'm just putting some highlights on his boots. Like making them all scratched and used and destroyed from all the years of abusing and wearing them. So you wanna show that off if you can. Wait, where's that perfect spot? So yeah, some more on the boots. It's not showing enough. Okay, And of course he has a belt, buckles and whatnot, so we want to put some paint on that too. Make it look all rusty and worn out. And there's these belts that are holding this square thingy, so let's put some on here. So these are just now the cosmetic add-ons. The miniatures could be finished if you want to, but you can always add a little bit of more definition like this on a few parts, you know, just to make them visually more interesting or something, to elevate miniature a little bit more. It's really up to you how you want your miniatures to look. Whoa. Okay, I just dropped my brush, which is probably a signal that we should be ending this live stream. Oh man. Just yeah, and I managed to paint nothing with it. So yeah. Oh man. Even though I like these streams, I always feel very tired after them, so yeah, so we have still on the palette some of these yellow green, so I'm gonna use that to put just a little bit of dot in the center of these thingies here to represent like it's some sort of, I don't know, radar or something. A radar for ghosts. He's searching ghosts. One way to call it today. Yes, it truly is. Okay, so what else did I want to do on him? Oh yeah, I wanted to highlight some of his clothes, but I'm going to do it with this gray blue. So I'm just going to pick out few details here and there. Also do it that scratchy thingy with it, so we need to dilute it pretty heavy. And we're just gonna go and do some light scratches over his shirts and these things here. You just put those wherever you think that the fabric would be torn up the most, and you're good. As I said, I'm really not that good in placing highlights correctly, so I just go by the feel, and if I feel like it, if I feel that it works, I just do it. Of course, you can always come back and repair if you messed up something. That's always an option, so don't be afraid to try things out, and if it doesn't work, rinse and repeat until you make it work or until you are satisfied with. Okay, so these are pretty subtle highlights, pretty subtle. It looks way too dark on the camera. I don't know if I could maybe show it up here, but this one won't zoom on it. Yeah, so yeah, basically we are done. What would happen if I would highlight with this color? Nah, it doesn't look good. I was maybe thinking of some idea of doing something, but throw the brush around. So yeah, I am calling this one done, even though, what if I change the light a little bit? I really should have toyed with the light more. Oh, did I just got more light going on here? Okay, so you can kind of see more highlights now, even though it's like a little bit too bright. But all you need to do now is just paint the rim black and the base black, or whichever color you want, and it is done. So the witch also, now you can maybe better see her highlights that I did on the skirt. Not really satisfied how it turned out. The dark colors are pretty hard to paint. Highlighting dark, highlighting black is, I find it, at least, even when you want to do it like with this purple thing. I think I did a few mistakes, but that's it for that. I like how these things at the base look. They look really cool. All you need to do now is paint the bases black, and you are done with it. You are done with these miniatures. So yeah, you need to work on your highlights. Well, I need to work on my highlights. So yeah, those highlights do not look that good. I can do a little bit better job than that, but it all depends on the type of the miniature, the type you want to paint on. So yeah, basically that's everything. Go check out the Scare Factory on Kickstarter, see if you like what you see, and yeah, do join me next time when I will be painting my entire house in black and then highlight it with the purple. And until then,